And the Spurs, well, they hold the number 2 and 14 picks as of right now. Spurs are expected to take Rutgers guard Dylan Harper with that second pick after Duke forward Cooper Flagg goes number 1 overall to Dallas. You can catch the action as it unfolds right here tonight on San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6:30. And according to Pete Thamel, Texas State, they've informed the Sun Belt that they're expecting an offer from the Pac-12.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me, however you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be listening online via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player at sasportstar.com, or if you're watching on YouTube, because we stream all of our shows live on YouTube, whether that's the Morning Huddle, the Blitz, or Extra Innings with Pleasure, just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, go ahead, like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show. A lot of people already in the chat. Gilbert P., Albert Lopez, Miss Becky, Jacob, Eric, Jada, we are all ready for the draft to see what the Spurs end up doing because it is still an open-ended book. We don't quite know. We assume Dylan Harper is the number 2 overall pick, and he will join Wemby, Fox, Castle. From there, we don't know because we don't know what 14 holds. We don't know with a lot of the players that are potentially have the chance to be moved, whether that's Markkanen or Kessler or John Collins in Utah, or if it happens to be Cam Johnson or someone else up in Brooklyn. Brett Siegel, as of 2 minutes ago, has tweeted out there are multiple trades in the work right now inside the top 10. But it really depends on what happens at number 3 with Philly, where Ace Bailey ultimately goes. And all of a sudden, what the New Orleans Pelicans decide at 7, potentially passing on Maluach. Teams are in a wait-and-see mode. The first round of this draft is going to be insane because there feels like there's going to be an unprecedented amount of movement of players, picks, everything involved. And a lot of it, I think, revolves around these aprons. Teams that are up against the aprons, teams that may be trying to lower their spending to be able to participate in free agency so that they don't go into these first or second aprons. I think the aprons are changing the way that the NBA is actually going to go from here forward and how teams navigate the off seasons now. Christopher Summers on our YouTube page says he disagrees with everyone about Trey Johnson, second best player in the draft. Look, I'm a Longhorn fan. I saw a ton of Trey Johnson. He's a good player. I'm not overly impressed with him. I think he could fit in the right system. I think he could be a good player. I also see a lot of Jordan Poole in him. Somebody who he's a walking bucket, but he's never met a shot he doesn't like. And sometimes you got to be able to understand the game and when to take shots. Offer 14 next year's Atlanta pick swap, 2 of Barnes, Vassell, and Johnson, 2 New Orleans for Maluach at number 7. If Maluach is there at number 7. Like Brett Siegel said, wait and see mode. because you don't know exactly where he may end up. They're talking about Con Knueppel going as high as number 4 to the New Orleans Pelicans. Teams trying to get up to 3 right now to potentially draft Bailey. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. Wesley Perkins says Harper is Ja Morant. It's not a bad thing, minus the gun play and the issues that he's had. That would be fantastic. I also see a lot of Cade Cunningham in his game. Bigger guard, can control the tempo, can play off the ball a little bit, but I think the great thing about Dylan Harper to me, and what I see with him, is his ability to have the body along with Stephon Castle to play multiple positions on the front line. And he brings a lefty aspect of scoring along with Fox. It adds diversity to this lineup, not the diversity they may need in terms of floor spacing, but that also doesn't mean that that's something that can be added to his game. Remember, still 19-year-old kids with plenty of development still ahead of them. Kawhi Leonard didn't come in as a completely baked item and had to learn to become a shooter. And he thrived in that. Jay Wrangle 210 says, would the Bucks want Giannis from the Spurs? I'm sure the Bucks want everything under the sun and then some, including Stephon Castle. What are you willing to give up for it is more likely the case. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger on 941 San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, it's a big day, and we all but think that Dylan Harper is about to be a San Antonio Spur. What more can we learn about Dylan Harper? Well, we talked to his coach on the Blitz a little bit earlier today. We'll replay a portion of that interview for you as we get you ready for tonight's first round of the NBA draft, which you'll catch right here on San Antonio Sports Star starting at 6:30. That's coming up next, right here. Rutgers head coach Steve Pikey, right here on Extra Innings with Pledge on 941 San Antonio Sports Star.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Oh my God, is this your house?
This is the humble abode.
Oh my God, it's so humble.
FX presents Adults.
You don't know your social security number?
No, I do. It's just my mom knows the whole thing.
A new comedy about 20-somethings achieving zero anythings.
What is the worst that happens? I go broke. I can't pay my loans. I start an OnlyFans, but only you guys subscribe.
You can't do OnlyFans.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it on there, so sorry.
FX's Adults, Wednesdays on FX. All episodes streaming on Hulu.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Do you want the lowest prices on wines and champagne shipped right to your door? TotalWine.com, America's largest independent wine retailer, ships to Eugene and Springfield. Explore our vast selection of over 8,000 wines and find something you love, all at the lowest prices for over 30 years. Whether you're looking to enjoy a full-bodied Cabernet from Paso or crisp Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, TotalWine.com has you covered with great wines and Grand Cru champagne shipped right to your door. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Shipping available on wine and champagne only. Drink responsibly. B21.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-550-8841. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your marriage is over. You know it. Your friends know it. Take back control now with Barton & Associates, an aggressive, no-nonsense team of attorneys ready to fight for what you deserve. Contact us today at TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Imagine owning coastal land with ocean views and world-class fishing just off Matagorda Bay. Well, dream no more. This Saturday, mark your calendars for a pre-4th of July one-day coastal land sale at Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point. We're unveiling incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1+ acre bay access from $49.9, waterfront properties starting at $99.9, or with a barn dominium from just $169.9. Wow! This gated community boasts a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch with paved roads and underground utilities. It's all happening this Saturday. 1+ acre bay access from $49.9. Waterfront properties from $99.9 with barn dominium for only $169.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing is available. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Freedom starts with land, and land like this won't last long.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM. SASportsStar.com. I appreciate everybody for rolling through today on draft day as the Spurs hold the 2 and 14 picks as of right now, and is widely assumed that the Spurs are going to be taking Dylan Harper with the number 2 overall pick. And with the number 2 overall pick, a guy that wore number 2 throughout high school and throughout college at Rutgers, he was asked about the potential of wearing number 2.
I mean, if they draft me, I hope so, because that's the number I look forward to wearing to. So I mean, definitely.
And my question is, don't Spurs fans want this? Don't y'all want to forget about who wore it before instead of holding all this animosity around the number? Need to find out a little bit more about Dylan Harper, the type of guy he is, and what the Spurs can expect out of the potential number 2 overall pick. Well, earlier today, Joe went straight to the source. Rutgers head basketball coach Steve Peichel, he joined to talk about the assumptive presumptive number 2 overall pick, Dylan Harper.
It is finally here. It is draft day for the NBA, and a lot of excitement for the San Antonio Spurs with the number 2 overall pick. By all indications, it is going to be Dylan Harper out of Rutgers will be the selection at number 2. So we thought we'd go and get to talk to a guy that knows him perhaps maybe better than any of us do, and that's his head coach at Rutgers, Steve Pikiell. He's
Quick announcement as we get you into Steve Pikiell. Shams Charania, first pick trade of the night. San Antonio Spurs trading their second round pick in the draft to the Indiana Pacers for a second round pick in the future and cash. That is your first draft pick trade of the night. Spurs send 38 to the Pacers for a future second round pick and cash. Now, back to Steve Pikiell with Joe Reinagle on the Blitz earlier today talking about Dylan Harper.
Unbelievable bloodlines. His dad was an all-time great, and I actually got to coach his brother, Ron, who's with the Detroit Pistons for 4 years, and had a great college career. Is going to be a good pro, too. And Dylan, just more of the same, of a hard-working family, loves basketball. He is awesome off the court, very involved in the community, going to cancer centers, going to hospitals, going into schools, reading, having clinics and doing clinics for, his hometown and, all kinds of different stuff that he's involved with. So, you're going to find him really, really personable, funny, and on the court, you'll realize quickly how talented he is, and he is very talented for a young player.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Pikiell, you just watch. You don't have to watch long to see that he is incredibly talented. When you get him on the floor, is there anything that you limit him doing? It just seems like he can do just about everything.
I mean, and I only had him for 9 months. I wish the old days I would have kept him for 2 or 3 years maybe. So, but in that time frame, I mean, first of all, he's in the gym and he's been working out with pros his whole life. One of the advantages of having a brother in the NBA and a father, he's been to all the camps, Steph Curry camp and the Chris Paul camp and the travels and the McDonald's All-American game and the Jordan Brand game. So he's played pros almost his whole life. And what he does well is he can really score the basketball at the rim. He's a lefty, but he's just as good with his right hand. He has a unique knack of finishing at the rim around shot blockers. I've never been around a player like that. And I played at UConn, and I was on some staffs at UConn with a lot of pros, and never quite saw a kid, get in traffic and be able to finish the way this kid can. And then he's a very good passer, great IQ. He's 6'6". He's got a terrific body. And his teammates are going to love him. He can defend. He can shoot the ball too, and has worked very hard, at that, and can play a lot of positions. So Spurs are getting a really versatile guy who's a winner, likes the last shot too. Will take it, has great nerves, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with him. He's really, really a fun guy to be around and an excellent basketball player.
Yeah, Coach, I know that a lot of Spurs fans are excited to get Dylan Harper in a Spurs uniform. We're visiting with Steve Pikiell, the head coach at Rutgers. And Coach, one of the things that people concern themselves with, some Spurs fans and others, that he comes into a situation here in San Antonio where there's Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox. So you've got maybe it's rich people problems. I don't know, but you got a lot of guards that are very similar in that respect. Do you think Dylan would have any problem fitting into a group like that?
As a matter of fact, I think he's like the perfect fit, between those two players. He really is. I mean, he's got elite size, so he's big. He can play off the ball, around the ball. He can defend multiple positions. He's a big-time scorer, but when I needed him to be a big-time playmaker, he has the talent and the ability to pass the ball at a high level. And with Victor and with the guys you have around, very willing passer and a terrific basketball IQ. So, I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. He's going to find his way on the court, and he'll fit seamlessly. He's a good teammate, too. And he'll like playing with those guys. And I think they'll all like playing with him.
Coach Pikel, I wonder, did he ever talk to you about his life in the NBA and maybe where would be a good fit for him? Did you guys ever have those conversations?
You know what? I tell you what, he's such a unique kid. I mean, he wasn't one of those kids, I've known him since he was really little. Like I said, we had Ron on the team, his brother. So I saw him kind of grow up from, 7th, 8th grade, on. And he was one of those kids that wasn't highly rated. Like, he wasn't one of those guys. He just worked and moved up the rankings to be, I think he was the best freshman in college. He was the MVP of the McDonald's game and the Jordan Brand game, which everyone played in. And he was on the USA national team. So playing against all of these guys, and was the, leading scorer there too. So, watching him grow through the years, just saw him just keep fighting and working hard to play in the NBA. And that was always his dream. He kind of grew up around it. And, I think the icing on the cake is to play for an organization like the Spurs, that first class and good basketball people. They'll appreciate his basketball knowledge and in a great city. And I know he's very, very excited. And, his dream is just to, play in that league and the bonus you get to go to a team like that with Victor and Castle and all these terrific players.
No doubt. We're visiting with Coach Steve Pikel, the head coach at Rutgers. And Coach, I find it funny. I know he was at Media Day yesterday, Dylan was, and he was talking about his mom's influence on his game. Said she taught him quite a bit. Were you able to see some of that?
Oh, his mom's a star too. First of all, one of the best parents I've ever dealt with. I've been coaching now for 33 years. Really did an unbelievable job with all of our kids. But does it in the right way, like drives them and demands a lot, and wants them to be really good, but wants them to be first class. And she was a player herself. Even the dad gets a lot of accolades. The mom was a very good player, and she's a very good coach.
And she coached him throughout high school, as we found out, as he told a story a little bit earlier today. Miss Becky never really heard of Harper, so that's pretty good, right? Yeah, you'd have. He was part of the championship Bulls, won championships with them and the Lakers. You'd know him if you saw old tape of him, I'm sure. But this has been Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on 94.1. We got the draft coming up for you right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous